always lit over at AJsRANTroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to AJsRANTroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed. What's good, everybody? Happy, what is it, Tuesday? Today is Tuesday, right? Yeah, today is Appendix Day. Tuesday is the appendix of week of all the days. It just, why do we have Tuesday? I don't know, but we have Tuesday. Anyway, happy Tuesday. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? We here. Let me know we here. Because, have PTSD. Been times where I've gone off. Oh, thank you, Amy. Thank you, Pat. Appreciate it. All right, we are ready to go. Hope you guys have a splendid morning. Whatever. I'm here. And let's get started with some great news. I mean, you know what? I don't know what is going on with Restream, but it keeps doing that. And it's going to do that the whole show because I see all the other tabs have moved. They just move on their own. They just do what they want to do. Anyway, so Texas has uncovered a bunch of illegal immigrants participating in our free and fair elections. A Texas election review has identified thousands of illegal immigrants on the state's voter rolls, Texas Secretary of State Jane Nelson said Monday. Nelson said a cross-check of state voter records found that more than 2,700 possible illegal immigrants were registered on the voter rolls, leading to an eligibility review across 54 counties. The data came from a full comparison of Texas' 18 million registered voters against federal citizenship records in the United States, in the U.S. Citizens and Immigration Services, aka SAVE database, according to the the Secretary of State's office. Quote, only eligible United States citizens may participate in our elections, Nelson said. The Trump administration decision to give states free and direct access to this data set for the first time has been a game changer, and we appreciate the partnership with the federal government to verify the citizenships of those on our voter rolls and maintain accurate voter lists. Hallelujah. The investigation showed after running the SAVE cross-check that state officials could identify 2,724 potential non-citizens whose voter files have been sent to local counties to be further investigated. This process falls under Chapter 16 of the Texas Election Code, which requires counties to verify each voter's eligibility and remove confirmed non-citizens from the rolls. Nelson said that the review is part of an effort to maintain an accurate voter list and safeguard election integrity ahead of the 2026 election cycle. Quote, everyone's right to vote is sacred and must be protected, Nelson said. We encourage counties to conduct rigorous investigations to determine if any voter is ineligible, just as they do with any other data we provide. Each flagged voter will receive a notice from their county registrar, giving them 30 days to provide proof of U.S. citizenship. If a voter does not respond, their registration will be canceled, though it can be reinstated immediately once proof of citizenship is provided. Nelson's statement said confirmed non-citizens who voted in previous Texas elections will be referred to the Attorney General's office for further review and potential prosecution. Uh-oh, kank, kank. The announcement comes amid growing national security scrutiny of voter rolls, as several states, including Georgia, Arizona, and Florida, have conducted similar audits on voter eligibility. A breakdown of the information was released by the Secretary of State's office, showing Harris County. Harris County has Houston in it, right? I believe Houston's in Harris County, so I'm not shocked. And it's also um, down there by the, Mexico. Anyway, state's office with the largest number of potential non-citizens at 362, followed by Dallas County, not shocked by that either, 277, Bexar County, 201, and El Paso County, 165. Similar counties, including Andrews, Llano, and Cook, reported fewer than 10 flagged registrants. In total, all 254 counties were included in the SAVE database review. Counties began sending verification notices this week as part of the 30-day review process. Could you imagine? Because I know the Democrat states aren't going to participate. They're not going to do this. But could you imagine what California would produce? You know, that massive population. Could you imagine what New York would produce? Illinois. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Could you imagine what those? Oh, it would be crazy what we would pull from those voter rolls, but they're never gonna go through their voter rolls like that because they want illegals to vote. They want illegals in their election process for some reason, and it is what it is. But great job, Texas, catching the potential mongrels. I don't want to call them mongrels just yet, and I call them mongrels once again because they feel entitled to something that they didn't earn. There are plenty of immigrants who do it the right way. And that's the distinction we often miss in the media, is that the media will just say immigrants. Nobody likes immigrants. No, we don't like illegal immigrants. If you did it the right way, nobody cares. If you did the paperwork, you got sponsors, all the stuff you're supposed to do, if you actually, you know, choose to assimilate, there's a difference, right? But when you come in here and you want to stay musty, yeah, we kind of, we don't want that here. So whatever. Oh yeah, I definitely. If he doesn't want ICE there, he's definitely not gonna scrub the voter rolls in California. Please, I can imagine how many. I'll just say illegals. I could imagine how many illegal immigrants are on the voter roll in California. I'm sure it's astronomical. But 81 million votes. Ooh. Anyway, okay, so this is a prime reason why I don't like church. This is why I don't like church. For this is very reason. Now, Marvin Winans, if you've ever heard this man, actually, because he's part of the Winans family, BBCC Winans, he's one of the older brothers. He was part of the original Winans group back in the day. Time to make a change. Anyway, if you heard this man's voice, amazing. The man can sing his face off. He's a pastor. Um, but this really annoyed me. It disgusted me. It frustrated me. And it just confirmed why me and church have a complicated relationship. Because what does man do? Man comes into stuff and ruins it all, right? So this woman comes up to the things, has an offering, and apparently the offering wasn't enough for Reverend Winans. And so Reverend Winans said this.
I, Roberta McCoy, given faith and stand in unity with the vision of perfecting church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
Oh my goodness. Now I don't know this woman. I don't know her circumstances, but she had $1,200. I don't know if that was her last. I don't know if it was, just a little some she was breaking off the church with. This is what God put on her heart to give. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But the disgust and this above reproach it no, 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 no. First of all, I would have took my envelope back. If my 1,200 isn't enough, how's zero? Boom. Take my stuff back because I don't got time for this. This is and I've seen this so many times in churches where they shake down the congregation for like every penny. They're like, "Yeah, we know." Or they'll wait until like a celebrity comes in. This just happened at my church in LA. They'll wait till like rich people come in and then they're like, "Yeah, we know y'all got like, 5,000 or blah 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 blah." And then one time they had this guest pastor come in and he shook down the congregation for like a whole lot of money. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, why are we even doing this? But apparently this is I don't know. This is the grift now, shake down the congregation and rebuke them in front of and imagine her son. Like her son is standing there next to her. And could you imagine like him? He's like, whoa. Um, oh, well, uh, this isn't enough. What does that mentally do to a young boy? Is he gonna grow up to be a hustler? Marvin, I'm disappointed. I kind of hold the Winans family in a different regard than a lot of these other people. And, if that's all she had to offer, then just humble yourself and accept the blessing because this could have been her last. She could have given you her last money. You don't know. And you're sitting here rebuking her in front of everybody and just rude.
I, Roberta McCoy, given faith and stand in unity with the vision of perfecting church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now, do you see how well thought out she put that and it was just beautiful, right? It's like, oh, okay, here's somebody giving an offering or whatever. I said,
Now that's only $1,200.
no, thank you. No, I appreciate you, sister. No, I humbly receive this offering. Thank you very much, sister. No, 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 no. I said 1,000 and be able to double that thou. And if you can't double that thou, don't bring your up here. This is not how I expect the Winans to conduct themselves, and this is how you conduct your church. I'll never visit.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying.
If you have 1,000 plus 1,000,
So if you ain't got $2,000, don't bring your ass up here. Is what he's saying. So he don't care if you giving your last 1,000. This could have been your rent money. Because sometimes people will literally, especially older people, they will get caught up in these churches and they will start giving their rent money and they're giving their car note money and and money for their bills and it's like, bro, the cycle needs to stop. These church grifts need to stop. To be this ungrateful and demean this woman in front of her son and the congregation, shame on you. Shame on you, Mr. Winans.
Okay. Well, I'm going to work on the other 800.
well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
And then she's so faithful that she like, I'm gonna go work on the other 800. Meaning she probably will go borrow the money from somebody if she that's how committed she is to the church. She will literally probably go borrow the money just so she could please the pastor. This is the stuff that I'm talking about, people. This is why church is problematic to me, and I have no interest. I have yet to find a church where I'm like, oh, this makes sense. Oh, okay, cool. I like 2819 church. I do, but I don't live in Georgia, so it's not a place that I can physically go to. Um, And so I don't know, but again, human beings are involved. So I already have side eye because human beings are involved, and I know how human beings are, right? And I could see there with a church like that, because of the church I was a part of, there are people, but and I'm sure the pastor has a great heart and a heart posture, and I'm sure there are several people who serve on that team that do, but there's always those wenches that find their way in, just like One Church LA. When I was part of One Church LA, the same thing. These wenches find their way in. These wicked people who have an agenda for themselves that has nothing to do with anybody else, and they will find their way in, because it's just so many human beings to manage. You can't possibly be able to see everyone's moves when you're not around, right? So uh, I'm bored. I don't think this woman should go get the $800. She should have took her envelope back, is what she should have done, and she should have walked out that church and never came back. But this is the thing. This is the mind thing. This is the mind thing these churches pull on the people. And now you giving your last, and now you giving what you don't have, and now you giving what you haven't. What God didn't even download on your heart to tell you to give. You just giving it because He asked you to. The the Reverend. So yeah, people are raking this man over the coals, and they should, and you should. This reminds me of Marvin Sapp. Literally, not too long ago. Remember Marvin Sapp? Close the doors, close the doors, close the doors. I ain't leaving until I get X amount of Z. Literally reprimanding the ushers to close the door to the church until these people give me what I'm asking for. Wow. That's the craziness we're talking about. And you imagine people come up out their pocket now, they starting to give you money they ain't got to give, money that they need to be responsible with. And now they just feel like, okay, well, my pastor is gonna keep entrap me until I make this money. So yeah, this is the bottom of the barrel church. This is the epitome of ridiculousness. This is what we don't want to see when it comes to our leaders. And for such a talented man, for such a blessed and gifted man, this I'm very annoyed and upset. And hopefully, your little sister Cece will get on the phone with you and be like, big bro, or BB Winans, or one of them, get on the phone with them. What we doing? What we doing here? What we doing here? We shaking down people who's giving a last? Nah, we good on that sway. Anyway, all right. So we go from one thing that annoys me, which is church, to another thing that annoys me, white liberals. Now, if anybody knows me, you know that white liberals, I can't stand them. I think they're repulsive. I think they're annoying. I think they're racist. I think they're degenerates. I think they encourage things because they want to control people, and it's all mental. It's all mental. Um, I don't know this particular person. I just picked the picture because of the stupid sign she's holding. And so we're going back to the No Kings protest. So the protest obviously was this past weekend. And a black dude is in a Trump like mask and whatever. I don't know why. But oh, hold on. Yes, Amy, he kept the money. You didn't he didn't give that envelope back. But could you imagine? Hold on, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Could you imagine? You like, wow, I got this, blah blah blah, and then you go make your beautiful speech, and then you give the pastor the offering, and he don't even say thank you. He didn't even say thank you. I think that's the thing that irritated me the most, is that he expressed no appreciation for the offering. None. No appreciation for the offering. Oh, all right. Back to the white liberals. So the black dude's there, and here go these white liberals. They popping off at the mouth, but they know the right ones to do this dumb stuff too. Here we go.
God!
Wait, what'd you say?
What'd you say? You're black and you're MAGA. I can't be black and MAGA? Worse. I can't be black and MAGA. You can't sweat skin because there'll be a lot of blacks who are rolling with the Republicans. So I can't be black and MAGA. Oh, you can be black and MAGA. You're a fucking sellout. Oh. You're a
Woosha, shamalalo, shamalalo, shamalado. See, this is why I can't be doing these things. I can't interact with these monkeys. See, if I can't interact with these monkeys because he would have said that and I would have just kicked him in his face. Listen, at least I know myself enough to stay out of situations, right? I know myself enough. He would have said that and I would have put my Timberland right in his face. That would have been it. Boom. We ain't got nothing to talk about after that. This is why I don't like. I can't. And he kept talking to him.
sellout. How am I a sellout? You're a piece of shit. I can't have my own opinion. Absolute.
He's sitting there fat, old, clearly have nothing better to do with his time than to stand here and scream and yell at somebody for their life choices. Like somehow this man's choices are going to affect his life for some reason, which it isn't. And it's okay to disagree, but there's a way to disagree with people. When you become disrespectful, I'm not inclined to give I'm not inclined to give a damn after that. After that, I just want to boot stomp you.
I can't have my own opinion. You are really. It's worse. You would expect that shit from me being white, but you.
And this hyperbolic focus on race is the lowest IQ conversation you can have. That's all I'm reduced to ever. Whenever I go live, it's always about the color of my skin. It's never about my thoughts. It's never about my ideas. It's never about my perspectives. It's never about how I got there. It's never about any of that. Nobody cares about that. These crackers, all these motherfuckers care about is the fact that my skin is a certain tone and that they can't control me. That's the big point. You can't control me. So now I'm going to call you every name in the book because the whole point is to whip you mentally back into the plantation. That's the whole point, right? To gaslight you and degrade you and provoke you so that you go back. Oh, well, maybe it is time, because like MAGA's not perfect. No, MAGA's not perfect. There are dumb people in MAGA. But what the fuck does the dumb people in MAGA have to do with me? It's not like MAGA's this massive tent. You're not going to know everyone in the tent. You don't know everyone's intentions, beliefs, or whatever. And like I said, human beings come in and ruin everything. They ruin everything. We ruin everything. So we come in and we ruin it, right? And so you come into this space and all you see is melanin. I don't have a thought. I don't have a process. I don't have a life experience. All I am is the color of my motherfucking skin. And this is why I don't engage. And this is why as soon as you make it about that, you're out of my face, But props to this motherfucker for having the courage. Well, he talked to the right one because, well, first of all, I would never wear all this Trump shit. But but even if I did, and you said this, I would still boot stomp you.
You hate yourself so.
Yeah, see the mental. This is the mental stuff. This is what they do to you. You hate yourself. How? Because I have an opinion you don't like. I've proven no self-hatred at this point. I hate myself is very specific, right? And having a political ideology you don't agree with is not self-hatred. That's not self-hatred. But they expect you to be emotional because you're black. They expect you to be dumb because he thinks you're dumb because you're black. And he can't control you. So now because he can't control you, he's going to degrade you to try to get you back on the plantation.
Oh my, you have so much self-hate that it's sad. You'll come around.
You said shame on him?
Shame on him.
Really? Why do you feel the need to lecture him as a black man? I mean, you're telling him.
Right. You fucking.
And then this motherfucker standing there, right. Where they pick this passive Negro from? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, because of course the white guy has to speak up. Yeah, who are you? Who are you telling? Yeah, who are you to tell them what to do? You should have said that, motherfucker. Why are you letting this motherfucking white man talk at you like this? this passive shit got to stop.
Hate your own skin color. How? Do you think that Trump people like you? A lot of them. Oh, they hate you.
Oh, yes, yes. And that's the other thing they pull. Oh, the Trump people hate you. Meanwhile, you don't know what the fuck I do with my day or how I produce my day or who my friends are, who I so you don't know any of that. All you see is a black person and you know 5 Trump people that you saw over here doing something stupid. And that's the epitome of everything. That's every MAGA Trump supporter. They don't want you around. Oh, I'm not looking for anybody's validation or acceptance. That's the difference between me and y'all, right? Y'all are ones boycotting Target because white people won't hire you because you unqualified. That's y'all. How you unqualified to be a greeter?
They're using you.
They're using you. Yep. So that's the other thing. They're using you. Meanwhile, I woke up, read some stuff, decided, okay, this is what makes sense for me. This ain't got nothing to do with the greater of anybody else, but because it isn't what you want me to do, yeah.
You're simply, you exist. People like you.
Are you using white privilege to try to lecture a black man? Is that what's going on right now?
No,
Is that what's going on?
I use my
white privilege to lecture a black man?
I use my white privilege to help other people.
I use my white privilege to help it. What privilege do you have? You can't even run to that fucking corner, you fat slob. What white privilege do you have? Again, they got to be the savior. They got to be the smartest one in the room. They have to be the best, the brightest. They have to be the leader. They have to be the head. They have to be number one on the call sheet. And if they're not, they don't know what to do with themselves.
Lecturing a black man. No. That's a different opinion, right? That's a different opinion, right? So lecture.
What do you mean chill? He walked up to him and then scolded him for being black.
Okay, that's not what happened.
No, how is that not what happened?
Yeah, that's not what happened. He the black guy wasn't minding his business, and we find the need to just walk up to somebody and talk crazy to them. But yeah, you're gonna do it to the right. You're gonna do it to the right one day, and your fat ass gonna be laid out on that ground.
Okay, he's saying shame on him because he's black and wearing a MAGA hat. That's why he came up.
Now get your fat ass on. Move your fat ass on. And then this this smirk on her face. Somebody knock that smirk off her face. Bop.
That's not what happened.
That's not what happened.
It was crazy.
You walked through the crowd at the waterfront.
Yeah, so I was trying to find the pro-MAGA crowd because, to show support with them and stand with them. And I got caught up in the anti crowd, and I was walking through them. It was very interesting. A lot of dirty looks, a lot of negative comments. But other than that, I didn't engage in any, shit talking. I just kept going, kept walking because, I'm outnumbered. There's only hundreds of people in the crowd. I'm by myself. This black man, that's dark skin, with the MAGA hat, with the Trump bandana, and with a Trump 2024 shirt. So you best believe that when I was in that crowd, I just, just minding my own business and just kept walking.
You should have handled it like Andre. Did y'all see Andre? I follow him on Instagram. He went to the Detroit No Kings rally and got mollywopped by the white liberals. But I mean, what I didn't understand is that he had a piece on him. Not that he should have Kyle Rittenhouse them, but I mean, if you're gonna beat me up and I'm gonna get arrested anyway, I might as well just shoot you. Anyway, moving on. So, speaking of the No Kings protest, so here is Speaker of the House Mike Johnson dropping another set of knowledge in the bucket on them yesterday.
These rallies we described as the Hate America rallies because there is no better description. Look at who was involved. Chuck Schumer and the Senate Democrats went out there to participate. They stood arm in arm, side by side, with some of the most radical groups that have ever assembled on U.S. soil. They openly advertised that they were co-sponsored. They were Soros-funded, and they were co-sponsored by the Communist Party USA, the Young Communist League of New York, and all the other radical groups. They're out there championing that issue. Now, listen to these people's own language, Sean, what they stand for. It is completely the opposite of what America was founded upon. They don't like living here. They don't like capitalism or the free enterprise system. They don't like the founding principles of the country, individual freedom and limited government and the rule of law and peace through strength and fiscal responsibility, free markets, human dignity. They're against all of that. And they go out and they put out these radical messages, violent messages. They want to call for the murder of a president who's already survived 2 failed assassination attempts, and they're mocking the death of Charlie Kirk. These people can be evaluated and judged on their own action.
And I just want to point out, you're mocking the political assassination of Charlie Kirk. You're celebrating the two attempted assassination attempts on President Trump. But he's the fascist. No, you're the fascist. That's what fascists do. They shut down political discourse. They want to silence people with a differing opinion, perspective, point of view, political persuasion. That's y'all, the actual fascists. Yeah, this was a totally anti-America rally. This had nothing to do with democracy. Then you also had these fugazis out there, Cory Booker and what's the gay one from California? Adam Schiff. Had those 2 gay men out there looking like that at a pride parade, talking about this is democracy, literally proving the point that that Donald Trump is not a king. But apparently, according to my live stream yesterday, I take no kings too literally. So there's a poetic meaning behind no kings. The reason why everybody's riled up, it's a poetic reason. It's not a literal reason. Okay. I mean, I don't see how you protest something that's a story or what is it, allegory or whatever the hell they call it. I'm a little weirded out by that. Oh, sure, Tony. Please type it out. Please type it out, Tony. I can't say it here. I wish I could. But so those fugazis are out there literally proving the point that Donald Trump's not a fascist and proving that this is, in fact, we're anti-democracy. We're anti all of these great things, just as the speaker just said. So it's stupid. It's stupid to me that these people would literally believe that they're doing something good for America. What they're mad at is that Trump is succeeding. That's what they're mad at. They're mad at the Trump administration is actually producing results. Because remember, Donald Trump was supposed to produce results 5 minutes after he signed, 5 minutes after he took the oath. Everything was supposed to be there, right? And it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Like, no, it's not going to happen in 2 seconds. That's not how it works. So thank you, Tony. It's lit over here on YouTube, but I'm bored. And Donald Trump making it very clear that he was no king yesterday while talking to the press.
Over the weekend, the No Kings protests.
I think it's a joke. I looked at the people. They're not representative of this country. And I looked at all the brand new signs paid for, I guess it was paid for by Soros and other radical left lunatics. It looks like it was. We're checking it out. The demonstrations were very small, very ineffective. And the people were whacked out. When you look at those people, those are not representative of the people of our country.
Mr. President, besides San Francisco...
And by the way, I'm not a king. I'm not a king. I work my ass off to make our country great. That's all it is. I'm not a king at all.
Facts. And then they sit there talking about, oh, we want a health exam. Motherfucker, y'all knew this, but y'all knew Biden had cancer long before he was out of office. And if you were actually smart, you would have tried to continue to. They couldn't, because they knew they couldn't keep the lie alive long enough to get him over the finish line for a second time. You couldn't find another 81 million. They couldn't find another pandemic to let me shut up. They couldn't find another pandemic to steal an election behind. So they pushed him aside and appointed Kamala, but no kings, remember, no kings. That duly elected Kamala Harris, she earned the Democrat nomination for president. Anyway. And, this organically grown and produced organization. Look at this organically produced and owned organization. Look at all of this. Oh, yeah. From the community. The community built this. These are all their partners. These are all the partners that funded this thing. But we're the kooks, right? No, no kings, no kings. But this is them. This is them, y'all. And you see where everything leads back, right? You see where everything leads back to. Hold on. Wait, what is this? Wait, there we go. Yeah, so everything goes back to Arabella, Buffett, Ford, Rockefeller, Soros, Tides. Yes, there you go. This is where everything leads back to. This organic organization, this organic protest. That's y'all people. Y'all better leave me alone with this BS. Anyway, moving on. Karine Jean-Pierre, the former White House press secretary. She's about to drop her book. Independent, I believe it's called. Who cares when it's coming out? Nobody's gonna buy it. Thanks for reminding me. I just reminded myself. I have to go check the used bookstore to see if Kamala's book made it there, so I could read 107 days. Because I ain't giving her no Barnes and Noble purchase. Anyway, so Karine is doing the rounds. She blew her hair out. She dyed. She put some highlights in it. She blew her hair out, put some highlights, and she's doing the talkies now, trying to promote her book. And of course, the first place she went was what was it, CBS, and talked to Gayle King and them, and and basically said she left the Democrat Party because wait, we don't have that video. Oh, we don't. We have 2 videos, but not that video. Okay, well, anyway, her first stop was CBS, and she basically said she became an independent after they pushed Biden out the door. And I think it's mentioned in this Fox News piece, but we'll watch that first.
The binder's back, baby. She's transitioning to independent. She's got blonde highlights now, and blondes have more fun. And you know what they say, when a woman dramatically changes her hair, she's going through something.
Oh, boy.
In this case, it's true. Binder can't find a job. She's the face of the cheap fakes. She swore a DEI blood oath to Joe, kind of like Kamala. And now her best shot at a payday? Bank a book advance about the big guy, but don't say anything bad about the big guy in it. Because he's the meal ticket. Problem is, nobody's going to believe the blonde binder. All of Biden world already told Comer under oath that Grandpa's lights were out. But Binder's thirsty, and she's transitioning fast. First stop on the tour, CBS.
Yes.
Binder's fuming that Democrats threw Joe under Kamala's electric school bus.
What you said in this book is you're angry at the people who tried to push him out.
Yes, that's correct.
Some Americans are going to say, seriously?
But not just the party that pushed him out, the party as it's behaving today in this moment when we need a Democratic Party to be fighting, to be an opposition party.
That's not really working for y'all. How much more opposition do you need them to be? Like how much more opposition does it need to be? Literally, Democrats are not going to work across the aisle. They have made it clear that this is about party, not the country. This is about their political power. This has nothing to do with the people of the United States. Hence why we're in day 21 of a shutdown, which we're about to talk about.
Binder's very concerned about Biden's age. No, she wasn't. It was just a silly joke.
I was his White House press secretary, which means I had a role that saw him practically every day and traveled with him.
And you saw nothing.
For more than 95%. We've always said, we're not going to say, oh, he didn't age. He aged.
Oh, my God. Is she kidding me? We're not going to say he didn't age. He aged. Meanwhile, if anyone brought it up at that time, it was called a right-wing conspiracy, liar. This wasn't the truth. How dare you say this? We were reprimanded for it. We were told we were lying. We were making this up. Political fodder.
He poked fun at it. We always owned up. And with age comes what happens when you get older.
With age comes with what happens when you get older. Is that what she said?
Age is what happens when you get older. That sounds like a Kamala fortune cookie. It makes sense. They're both fluent in DEI and both in on the big lie.
When we talk about the mental acuity, and again, I take this very, very seriously. I never saw anyone who wasn't there. I saw someone who was always engaged.
That wasn't all. Binder got hungry for seconds after CBS, so she ran to a liberal podcast saying Trump, not Biden, was playing Houdini with the press.
He talked way less to the press than Donald Trump does. Way less. And he wasn't out there at all. He wasn't good off the cuff. He wasn't doing press.
Yeah, she knows she's lying. Look at her face. Look at that smirk on her face. She knows she's lying. We're about to watch this clip, actually. Yeah, she knows she's lying. Look at her face.
Just be real. Like, you didn't do paid events.
And this is your people. Karine, this is your people. Literally calling you out. Saying, come on now. You know this man was not talking to the press like that. I think Donald Trump has done more press conferences in his first 8 months than Biden did his entire administration.
But Tim, that's not true. Tim, you're conflating all of it. That's what you're doing. No, you're telling me he didn't talk well about it. Then you're telling me he didn't talk at all.
He didn't do either. He didn't talk very often, and when he did, it wasn't very good. He sounded very old.
Maybe you weren't paying attention to what we were doing at the White House.
Neither were you, apparently. So here's the rest of that clip. And she could tell she's lying by the way she's smiling. She's like, no. He's like, no. This man's a whole liberal. He's literally on your side telling you, stop BSing us, babe.
So that's number one. My job was to speak to what the decision he made in the sense of continuing, trying to lift up the policies and the legislative wins that we did have. We did have legislative wins.
Sure. And he didn't talk about them that well, though. He couldn't talk about them. He wasn't campaigning.
No. Wait. First of all, he did talk about them. Whether it broke through or not, he did. Tim, he did talk about.
I mean, he talked way less to the press than Donald Trump does. Way less. And he wasn't out there at all. He wasn't good off the cuff. He wasn't doing press conferences. Let's just be real. Like, he didn't do paid events.
Tim, that's not true. Tim, you're conflating all of it. That's.
She has to protect Joe Biden at all costs. She can't go against it. You know why? Because she has no power. This is what happens when you have DEI hires. Kamala's already said too much, apparently, and I'm pretty sure whatever revenge Joe Biden is going to exact is going to be hilarious. But you can't go against the mouth that fed you, gave you an opportunity when no one else would have. She would have never been White House press secretary if it wasn't for the color of her skin, and maybe even the color of her skin and who she goes to bed with. So now that upped the ante. Not only am I a black woman, I'm a black woman, blah blah blah, who does blah 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 in the bedroom. So now you have to pick me.
No, you're telling me he didn't talk well about it. Then you're telling me he didn't talk at all.
He didn't do either. He didn't talk very often, and when he did, it wasn't very good. He sounded very old.
Maybe you weren't paying attention to what we were doing.
No, he's exactly right. And it's bad when your own side is saying it and you're still in denial.
White House, but
I paid attention. That I'm with you on the policies. I'm talking about his performance.
The president spoke to the American people a couple times a week. He traveled and did domestic travel and talked directly to the American people. We are talking about a time politically that is incredibly partisan. It is hard. It's hard to break through any messaging. And it was an incumbency as well.
Oh, it was incredible. It was incumbency. It was an incumbency. Karine, nobody believes it's not even you. We understand. You got a nice book deal. You was able to get your hair blown out, put some highlights in it. Look a little. Let me shut up. If y'all want to go buy the book, go look it up because I don't care what day it releases. Moving on. So we're in day 21 of the government shutdown. The Democrats. Tony, I just looked at the comments. Oh God. Day 21 of the government shutdown. And that's why we're there. because I don't know, for some reason it keeps switching up on me like that. I don't know why it keeps doing that, but whatever. Okay. And for the 11th time, Democrats have voted to keep the government. And for some reason, I keep hearing dummies online. Oh, well, how does this even happen? And if the Republicans have the House and the Senate and they have the presidency, how is this even happening? And it's like, do you not understand the filibuster, you twit? Right. If it was just about a simple majority, we'd be fine. Like, there's no issue. But when the Democrats want to say, hey, well, actually, yeah, we're going to intervene here. And then we're going to intervene on a clean resolution. This resolution has nothing new in it, right? They, instead of keep the government open and keep everything funded for the next 7 weeks and let's have this negotiation, they decided, oh, we're going to shut it down now. That's what Democrats decided to do. And so this whole notion that Republicans have to come to the table and negotiate for what? What are we negotiating? There's nothing to negotiate. This is the same resolution 13 times under the previous administration you said yes to. All of a sudden, there's a problem. So clearly, Democrats are performing, and your constituents about to be mad as hell November 1st, especially the ones that get SNAP benefits, because they're about to be affected, and they are really being vocal. And we're about to talk about that in a moment. But here's Speaker Mike Johnson.
And it's also important for us to note, this is the first time in history that any party has had the audacity to shut down the government over a totally clean, nonpartisan continuing resolution. This is a political stunt, and it's the first time it's been done, and it is the most costly, most selfish, most dangerous political stunt in the history of the United States Congress, because as we have stood here day after day after day explaining all the Americans who are being harmed by this nonsense. And the Senate Democrats have zero shame about this. They don't have any shame at all about the pain that they're inflicting upon hardworking families, upon soldiers and law enforcement officers and veterans and the elderly and the disabled and women, infants, and children. Services to all those categories and paychecks to those folks are being stalled because Democrats are playing games.
They're playing politics with your lives. But Democrats have always played politics with your lives. So hopefully now you're starting to see that. It's never been about the country. It's about their power. Again, you can see how the moves go. When people make decisions that don't make sense and you're like, why would you bust down right here? This makes absolutely positively no sense to buck up right here. Yeah, it's not about the very thing that they claim it's about. I respect that Republicans have been very transparent through this whole process. They've been very transparent. They've been very straightforward. They have not bullshitted us in any way, shape, or form. It is Democrats who have come out here gaslighting, trying to blame the wrong part. If you literally go to the Democrat Party's website, the first thing that pops up, Republican shutdown. That's not on the Republicans' website because the Republicans actually have a mission, a vision, and an agenda, right? Y'all have no mission, no vision, no leader, no agenda, and it's all confusion at this point, which is what you get when you allow the radical left wing of your party to come in and infiltrate. You get chaos because nobody's on the same page because these people don't know how to organize and lead. All they know how to do is feel and react. And now you are feeling and reacting, and you're going to feel and react your way right out of your seat. By all means, keep this going because only your constituents are going to suffer from this. And speaking of suffering, so let's talk about the SNAP benefits that some folks are literally about to start losing. So will SNAP benefits be paid in November? As the federal government shutdown endures for a third week, states have started to issue concerning warnings. Funding for food assistance is about to dry up. Quote, SNAP benefits for November won't be issued if the federal government shutdown continues past October 27th, warned Texas Health and Human Services Department. Officials also in Colorado, Illinois, Minnesota, Oregon, New York, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia all issue similar warnings. saying the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP for short, is poised to run out of money in a matter of days. We're going to run out of money in 2 weeks, says Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins on Thursday. SNAP, formerly called the Food Stamp Program, helps people living near or below the poverty line afford groceries. The program is funded by federal dollars, but administered by state and local agencies. The United States Department of Agriculture started notifying last week that it was seeking alternative sources of funding, but in the meantime should pause issuing benefits approved after October 16th. The distribution of funds could impact 42 million, or 1 in 8 Americans who rely on SNAP to buy food. What will happen to November SNAP benefits? The USDA's shutdown contingency plan allows the agency to tap into reserve funding to help to keep SNAP operating if the federal government remains shut for longer than a month. But it would cost about $8 billion to keep benefits flowing for everyone in November, which makes scraping together funds challenging. The size of the contingency fund is closer to $6 billion, according to CNN. States could could imagine all this money we were sending overseas so that Democrats could funnel and launder. Imagine if the money was really being used for what it was. Right. We wouldn't be in this predicament anyway. States could scrap together the money themselves to keep the benefits flowing, but they shouldn't be expected to be reimbursed, said Peter Hadler, the Deputy Commissioner of Connecticut's Department of Social Services. Benefits could also come late or only to some families. The USDA has a plan that would allow it to prioritize November funds to the highest need recipients, the New York Times reports. It's also not clear how serious the USDA is about cutting off benefits, or if the warning of the past week are to add political pressure on reopening the government. Messages on the USDA website blame the radical left Democrats for the shutdown, while leaders in states like Pennsylvania and New York are blaming Republicans. It's not Republicans. It's not Republicans at all. But you people are stupid. Who the fuck is not voting? Who's voting against the resolution? Democrats. They're voting against it. So how the fuck is that the Republicans' fault? They're not going to negotiate a clean resolution. You don't negotiate a clean resolution. You vote on the resolution, and then you go and you negotiate what you want for the budget after that. But y'all didn't want to do that. We're following up. Charles LaSalle, director of the New Mexico's Budget and Accountability Office, told lawmakers at a hearing Wednesday to verify whether food stamps is really out of money or if this is just a tactic that the administration is playing in the overall negotiation. We are in uncharted territory. Carolyn Vega, associate director of nonprofit Share Our Strength, told The Times. She said benefits have kept flowing during the government shutdown of the past 2 decades. The threat to funding comes at a turbulent time for SNAP programs around the country. A deadline to comply with the One Big Beautiful Bill is approaching in November, which is expected to result in the loss of benefits for certain types of SNAP recipients. Listen. This ain't got ish to do with the Republicans. This has nothing to do with Republicans. Now, I understand there are people out there who are really struggling, who are really hurting. I am not talking about those people, because the point of these benefits is to be a stepping stone. So if that's why you're on the benefit at this moment, you're not part of this conversation. But who I am talking to right now are the people who feel entitled, the people who think this is a career, the people who have made no effort to get themselves out of the predicament that they're in. Those are the people that I'm talking to right now. See, there's a difference. You see the difference? Okay, cool. It's one thing if you're in a predicament and this is your situation at the moment, but this is not going to be your situation forever. It's another thing if you've been on this for 14, 15, 10, 5, 20 years, and then you think you're entitled to it. There's a difference. Like this woman.
I'm going to tell y'all straight up like this. I just got that text that the link is definitely cut the fuck off for November. Y'all better stay the fuck out of my way in these stores. I'm walking out with cards and I'm not paying for shit. Trump, if you want motherfuckers start looting, it's gonna happen. Before my kids go broke in this bitch like Jock, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow.
Now, I want y'all to note that her hair is done. She has on eyelashes, so clearly you have some money somewhere, right? And so what I don't understand is if you have children, where's your emergency fund? You have children and no emergency fund. So what if something had happened to the benefits? And say they couldn't pay out the benefits for 30 days or something, even like say something else happened and like there was a glitch or something, like what's the contingency plan? So this is the entitlement that I talk about, people. You know why she breathing hard, Prince.
I am going to go in that store, get everything I get regularly. I'm going to bag my shit up, swipe my link card. As soon as that bitch say ain't no pending balance on there, I'm going to walk the fuck out.
So I'm going to commit a crime because I didn't have a contingency plan for my family. Now, again, if you are one of the Americans who are depending on SNAP benefits because you've earned it and you're going through a hard time, I'm not speaking to you. I'm talking about the career recipients. I'm talking about the ones who feel like this is what you are supposed to give this to me. That's the ones I'm talking to.
And I'm gonna have one of my cousins with me that'll punch your ass so hard you gonna think a Jet 2 holiday hit your bitch ass.
So now, not only are we gonna steal, then we're gonna be violent. I don't have enough energy for the Judge Judy laugh, but I'm close.
If you think I ain't finna walk out that stuff. And please follow me to that motherfucking car if you feeling motherfucking froggy.
Now she has a car too. She has a car. Well, I mean, if it's about feeding your kids, and something goes wrong, maybe sell your car or do something. I don't know. Make it work.
You ain't gonna make it back to your motherfucking position at that fucking Walmart store. I'm telling you.
Oh.
You want to take some link? Like I don't be taking shit already. Watch this. It's okay.
So she already steals, even though she's getting the link. She's getting the link money already, and she steals already. But this is ridiculous. And this is the stuff that needs to be exposed. I saw videos of people stating, well, I get such and such. I pay $50 a month for my rent for a 2-bedroom apartment for me and my kids. And are you mad? Do you want to punch me? Blah, blah, blah. I forgot something like that she was saying. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. This is the stuff that needs to be weeded out and exposed. Because this is what these programs breed. They breed laziness. They breed depravity. They breed people with no ambition. This is what they breed. When you give somebody endless benefits and all they got to do is show up and lie or say, hey, I'm still down and out. This is what we're talking about here. So, yeah, I'm all for reforming this program. The other issue I have with this program is that, there needs to be a weaning off and a way, but the government doesn't want that, especially these Democrat-run areas. They don't want you to stop accepting benefits. They want you to be on benefits, and that's why there's really no way off of it. So it's a two-way, it's a double-edged sword, And so people like this are the reason why there's the system is problematic. People like this is why I'm so for reforms in the system, because this makes absolutely no damn sense. This makes no sense. The fact that you are this lazy and entitled and you can barely breathe while you're talking, while you're yelling into your $2,000 device. Lady, if you need to feed your kids that bad, sell your damn phone. You better get on OfferUp and start selling some stuff if you need to feed them babies that damn bad. I'm sure you got a flat screen television. I don't have a flat screen television. You clearly have money to get your hair done, and here's the bigger question. Where's the father of these kids? Or fathers of these kids? Where the daddy? Where the father of these kids? That he got y'all sitting up there on welfare, up there on food stamps, and ain't taking care of his. Where he at? Is he in jail? Is he dead? Is he a deadbeat? Did y'all break up and you keeping the kids from him? What's going on? What's going on with that? Right. So these are the things, that really matter. This breeds irresponsibility, and I'm bored. At this point, we just got to get to the point where we got to pull the Band-Aid off really hard, and people really need to go out there, because then once you have to go out there and make it happen, you'll make it happen, because you're not going to see your kids starve. You're not. So that's it. But don't commit crimes. Don't go in the store stealing. Don't go in the store stealing, and don't threaten to punch people out because you committed a crime. Yeah, that's not the route you want to take. So yeah, that's my TED Talk for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. If you would like to support the channel, you can head on over to AJsRANTroom.com. That's AJsRANTroom.com. If you would like to buy me a coffee, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/AJsRANTroom, or you can scan this QR code. I appreciate it. Thank you so much to the people who have bought me a coffee, or in this case, a tea, until I'm well. I will go back to coffee once I'm well again. But if you would like to buy me a coffee, go buymeacoffee.com or AJsRANTroom.com. Please make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you are notified every time we upload or go live or drop a short or whatever we do over here. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I will catch you all on Hump Day. Peace.